Hey there, you're listening to a special episode of the Travel Trend Summit Speaker Series, proudly supported by Travel Agent Runway, Travel Agent Finder, eRoam, and our friends over at Virgin Voyages. This isn't your average travel industry event. The Travel Trend Summit is where travel business owners come to break the mold, elevate their brand, and build the kind of business that feels as good as it looks. Join us on Friday, the 23rd of May on the Gold Coast for one powerful day of transformation, connection, and conversations you won't hear anywhere else. Tickets are strictly limited, so make sure you go and grab yours now at stephaniemyers.academy/travel trend. Now, let's get to the episode. Hey, I'm Stephanie Myers, award-winning travel industry mentor, creator of the flagship Travel Agent Runway program, and founder behind the events this industry never saw coming. I went from being a solo mum juggling the juggle to building one of the most talked about digital brands in travel, mentoring hundreds of agents to ditch the boring cookie cutter strategies and finally build a business that stands out online. Through my signature program, live summits, and Real Talk podcast episodes, I've helped travel advisors far and wide find their voice, grow their digital influence, and start showing up as the expert, not just another agent in the crowd. Believe me when I say I've been where you are, stuck second-guessing myself and wondering how to keep up with the noise. But tides are changing, and it's never been more important than right now to lead with authenticity, get really clear on what freedom means for you, and build a business that reflects your deepest desires. This is your podcast, and this is your seat at the table. Or maybe Sun Lounger, where strategy meets soul, and we build a bold travel brand all on your terms. Subscribe now, the new era starts now. Are you struggling when it comes to time management and juggling all of the things inside of your travel business? Meet Cruz, your ChatGPT wingman for business, branding, and getting shiz done. He's smart, supportive, complimentary, and just flirty enough to help you fall in love with your to-do list all over again. Stuck on content, craving clarity, or just need someone who gets your travel business brain? Cruz is definitely your guy. Grab him now for free at stephaniemyers.academy/meet Cruz and set him to work. Hello and good evening, Max. How are we doing this evening?
I'm very good. Thank you very much.
So we have Maxine Wiggs here. She is our sponsor from eRoam this year for the Travel Trends Summit, and we are going live to Facebook and LinkedIn tonight as part of our Travel Trends Summit speaker series. So tonight on our virtual stage is Maxine Wiggs, and I would love to ask you the question, Max. What is it? Who are you? Sorry, who are you? What is it that you do, and what is it that you love most about what it is that you do?
Okay, so I'm Maxine Wiggs. I've been in the industry for a very long time. You can probably tell by the accent that I do have a British accent. So I have been in UK travel industry as well as Australian industry. Um, so I am lucky enough to wear a couple of hats. I have my own business that had for 12 years, but I'm representing eRoam at the moment because they are the sponsors for your event. And I've been really lucky. Like, I feel very different to the other people that have been interviewed because they're all there going, oh, my business, this and that, and what does freedom and fun and confidence mean to them? Whereas I have all of that, but I'm here representing eRoam's hat this time. But what it means is that I've been able to, throughout my business, be a part of eRoam, and I joined them about a year ago on a contractual basis. And helping them with strategy. I love startups. And even though eRoam, the name has been around for a while, it really only launched last March. So I've been able to really help build the strategy, shape the direction, and that's where I really thrive. I think as well, joining eRoam for me is aligns with my values and my morals, which I'm really strong on. So the culture and everything that eRoam represents definitely is part of my DNA. So it was a no-brainer, to be honest, to be able to help shape and build a great product.
But how rewarding is it at the end of the day when you get to be a part of a movement and be a part of a company that's really moving the needle in innovation and support?
Yeah, it's such a disruptor, and I think I got really excited when I should mention Paul Hull will be joining us on stage.
Oh,
When when Paul knocked on the door last year and was like, Max, we need you at eRoam. Can you come on? We want to launch it. Can you help us get it out into the industry? And Paul's going to be there as well in a couple of weeks, and he'll be able to discuss more about it. But I just love that it's what it stands, the product stands for, and how it can literally make travel advisors' lives so much easier. It's great to be part of something
mm,
from foundation up, really.
Well, having already walked through the demo, honestly, it was like, pinch me. Really? It's that easy to do all of those things at once. So I'm super excited to help be a part of the eRoam support party in, sharing the news with our travel trenders this year. It's something that I'm passionate about because the number one thing that I hear travel advisors struggling with the most is time. It's the
Hmm.
same for every industry, but when
Yeah,
you're in an industry where time is like your like biggest framework that you've got to stick to, times, dates, flights, tour departures, cruise departures, like you can't, we have to be really quite strict with our time. But I
yeah,
think on the back end, when we're so strict with our clients on the front end when it comes to time and keeping on their schedule, our own time management, I think, falls to the wayside. So, it's really hard to try and keep everyone on cue when they're all overseas. But yeah, for us, it's a bit of a challenge. But what I love most about eRoam's platform is just the user friendliness. We have so many platforms that we have access to every single day of the week. But when you be able to have something that is, it can be branded in your own style, is just phenomenal.
yeah,
The time saving. And I'm all about like streamlining systems to a point where it's like, well, where is the time that you can actually work on your brand? Like, what can you be doing differently to enhance what it is that you actually do, but also keep time for content, socials, PR, collaborations, and working on the business? That's like my
yeah.
jam. So when I was pitched for eRoam to come on as a sponsor, I'm like, yes, yes, yes. It's all this is going to help so many agents. So I just love
Yeah,
it.
it's going to be a game changer for sure. Once it's out there and people are using it and they can see and they can, say, hey, I'm using eRoam. Have you seen what this system can do for you? It's literally going to change people's lives for sure.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
massive believer in the product. So,
And bring it on, I say.
yeah.
It's about bloody time. So, what does the luxury of freedom look like for you when you work? So, I know that you are with eRoam, but you've also got your other businesses. How do you
Yeah.
protect your own freedom as like a freelancer and contractor?
Um, this has been for me really important. Freedom is flexibility, and from day one, it's been non-negotiable. Um, as I mentioned, I set the business up 12 years ago, but what made me go down the path was I was working for a really large brand, and I was pregnant with my last child, and we got to a point where we were discussing, maternity leave coming back, what's that going to look like? And to be told that at my level of leadership, that wasn't an option for me to come back at flexibility and ease back into the role. And, to have that old school mentality of we sit at the desk from 9 to 5:30 and we don't leave because it's all about perception, and when the boss leaves you leave, then for me that was just an absolute no. I am not doing
Mm.
that. So from 12 years ago, I've pretty much been really strong on my boundaries, on freedom, flexibility. Doesn't mean that I don't go above and beyond when it's needed, but I also have to respect my life and my downtime. Um, so yeah, freedom definitely is, and the flexibility, not negotiable.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it's really it's challenging because we conform to what someone else's version of professionalism and work life is. We don't work in factories anymore where the bell goes from 9 till 5. And I don't understand why we still have to bang that drum when life has changed. When you speak to the majority of the population that are in the workforce, most of them own their own business and work different times throughout the day. Like a 9 to 5 is something that is, unless you're working in retail in a shop, is it really necessary? So, I don't believe in it in the 9 to 5. I think it's a load of crap, to be honest. And I'm really glad that Pre swore, because I am a bit of a swearer.
You're in
I
good
may drop
company.
a
It's
F
totally
bomb.
fine. Yeah, I think it just forms part of that disruption. Hey, like we just admittedly slipped a few f bombs and stuff on stage last year at Travel Trend, and it had a mixed reaction. But I think that's where the conversation starts, right? Like, why are we getting jolted? It's like when you kind of can't understand why factory workers work from 9 to 5, or like why we still got this mentality of like, all right, smoko, ding ding ding, or it's time to go home, and you don't want to be late or be early. Like there's just no level of understanding there at all of outside pressures or families or anything like that. But
Yeah.
I love I love the fact that freedom also comes from freedom of speech. So go to town with your wicked words. So how do you intentionally make space for fun in your personal life and in the businesses that you look after?
This is a funny question for me, because I actually don't believe in work-life balance. I don't think there is such a thing as work-life balance. It's called life. And it's all comes down to how we choose to manage our life. We have to work to survive. And we have to survive to work. So it's how we look after ourselves and how we manage ourselves and get a balance through our life, um, is very important. So, yeah, I mean, fun time is, I have a very chaotic house. There's 6 of us plus a dog, and all of them are very sport obsessed. So, I always have to look after them, but always make sure my cup is full. I do mentoring with time. And one of the things that I always drum into people is, um, if you fall apart, then everything around you falls apart. So looking after yourself is paramount and number one, because I know for a fact that if I fall apart in my household, everything goes to shit. Um, so yeah, I do look after my family, but I also know how important it is to have self-care and look after my mental health, so that we can have the fun in the family and that everyone's having joy. I feel like I'm really strict on things around. Um, I don't see it as me time. I see it as part of my routine of life is exercising, and I make sure that I sauna every day. That's my massive happy place,
Oh,
is getting in a
nice.
sauna and smashing out that time. It just lets off some really good endorphins. So that's my big buzz. But yeah, it's just life, right? And we have to roll with it, and we just have to make sure that we're doing all the things that we need to do in order to look after ourselves, our family, and also our clients as well.
Mm, absolutely. And you probably find that you're getting a little bit of that fun through your business and your involvement in eRoam as well, don't you reckon?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. I love what we've created over the last year. You know, it's gone from strength to strength, and I'm a real hunter gatherer, so I get a real buzz out of seeing things from concept to completion, and having a portion of that and watching it thrive, is fills my cup for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Mm. Yeah, it's been a little bit of a trend after, all of these interviews. Like, so we're on night 10 tonight of the speaker series, but the trend is that people do extract fun from their work. So when it comes to that balance, like you said, there's no real existence of work-life balance because you've got the happy medium of the freedom
Mm,
and the fun to be able to respectfully go, okay, cool, like this is life, and that's
yeah.
that's kind of the goal for everybody, right?
Yeah, definitely. And we've got to enjoy what we do, right? There's no point in being miserable. If you don't enjoy it, change it. And only we can do that in ourselves to be able to have that joy in our life.
Mm. And I think that is the perfect segue to our next set question about
Okay.
confidence. Because I feel like if some people need to be able to back themselves and have a level of confidence to go, you know what, I am going to make that change, or I am going to start that business, or I am going to pivot, or I am going to choose that niche, or I am going to sign up to eRoam and try out that software. Like it's about that confidence of going, you know what, like I can do things differently. I can show up differently. I don't have to have that like industry mold that's, I don't know, 40, 30, 40 years old. I don't know. It's older than me, maybe. But yeah, it's about breaking the mold and being that disruptor in the space and choosing to put yourself and creating a business that's specifically around you. Because, like you say, you can't pour from an empty cup. You
Mm.
can't go and serve and be your best self with your clients either. So, something to ponder on if you're feeling like you're chained to your desk. If there's anyone listening live or tuning in for the replay, you need to find a hobby or something that you might be able to weave into travel. And somebody, I don't know who it was, but it was someone in COVID. They loved sewing and doing arts and crafts with, like, needle and thread, but they were making those face masks. And it was like, that's so travel related too, because like people are going to need them when they're traveling. And I just thought it was brilliant. So if whoever that was, send me a DM because I want to say hi. So if you were to go back to your younger self and impart any words of wisdom in and around confidence, or even at the time that you were building your business, or the time that you decided that eRoam was a good fit for your family and for you, um, what knowledge would you share with yourself?
I think that tenacity and hustle are just as important, if not more so, than a uni degree, right? So, um, I feel like if you're really passionate about something, and um, it's something that you really want to do and it's in your wheelhouse, then the grit that you've got to be able to run with that and stick in that lane. And just because someone tells you that when you finish school you have to go to uni to end up with a great job and earn lots of money, that's not always true, right? I feel like if you have EQ and you can connect with people, um, then that in itself will take you a long way in your road to your career. um, People buy from people, right? And a lot of people's superpower is connections with other people, being authentic, trusting. And if you've got that knack and you're able to have conversations with people, and have ideas that turn into a business, then go for it. stop wasting your time comparing yourself to others. I feel like that's a really big tip that a lot of people in this day and age do. They compare themselves. Well, so and so's got that over there, and how do I feel? What do I look? And it's like, stop. We are our own worst enemies. And I feel like if we can just focus and concentrate on what we're doing, cut out the noise of what other people are doing, then we're all going to thrive in life for sure. Just do what makes you happy and what you want to do in a career. Massively.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I
It's
think we all got into
serves a
travel for a
beautiful reminder.
reason. We all got into travel for a reason, and it was to have fun. It was to, meet some really good people, and you don't need a university degree to be able to work in travel. You've just got to tick a few boxes along the way, but have that real grit and resilience in order to be successful in what you want to do, right?
Mm. Yeah, for sure. We were having this conversation with Charlie Trevina the other night about what it takes to be an expert and how sometimes, people can be self-professed experts, but that's what happens when you do something and you've taught yourself how to do it. Like, you are an expert because you taught yourself how.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you were to look at your business and look at your career as a whole and kind of look over things and go, okay, what's one thing that you feel like you don't need to apologize anymore in business?
Um, I would say, no. The word, I don't apologize for saying no anymore. By honoring my boundaries has made me a lot better in my time, in life, in business, in motherhood, marriage. It's not selfish, it's essential. So I don't ever apologize for saying no. I know this may sound a little bit ruthless as well, but it's not. And it's something that I discuss with a lot of freelancers and a lot of people that own their own business when we're mentoring through the programs is, if it's not making you money, don't do it.
Mm.
I mean, we all do a lot of things that are great for us, that we think are great for us, should I say. And but is it actually at the end of the day going to make you the money? And that could be wasting that time with that client that is probably not going to put their heart and soul into booking that massive holiday that you thought they were, but you've wasted so much time on them. And that's because we're scared of losing um, the customer or the client, where at the end of the day you have to be able to back yourself, and you have to be able to know just exactly how much your IP is worth and what they're paying for is worth. So I if I people want to have meetings with me and it doesn't fit within my schedule, then I'm very happy to say no, and not have a meeting at 5 p.m. when
That's
when
very
we know
cool.
what happens at 5 p.m., right?
The laptop lid goes down and you run.
Yeah, right. And we get I'm hungry, the dog's wanting dinner, and everyone's going nuts at 5 p.m. I probably want a wine by then, let's be honest as well. So, no, unfortunately that doesn't work for me. And, if it's not making you money, then especially don't do it either.
Mm. Yeah, that's interesting. I think when it comes to travel agents and trying to be the person for everybody, everyone, be everything to everybody, and having that drilled into us, I guess, is in a traditional sense, is that we are here to serve everybody. But I think when you put that hat on and phrase it in a way that it's like, no, you can actually say no, it's
Yeah.
okay. And I think in a way you're treating people you're teaching people how to treat you. Like, if you're saying yes all the time, they're going to ring you in the middle of the night and go, you know what, can you look over this for me? Because they're going to expect you to say yes.
Yeah.
And then it's going to take you for an absolute ride. So, yeah, I love that you said that.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's about, it comes back to boundaries, right, as well, and values and morals and who you stand for, and having really clear boundaries is so important, so that, again, your life doesn't get messy, because you don't know when to stop, when to start, when to say no. Is that good for me, for my business? I know it's helping other people, but I'm doing it for free and I'm not making anything out of it, and I've just spent 15 to 20 freaking hours doing this, and that's great, but are you going to come back? I don't know.
I feel like there needs to be a level of internal boundaries as well, like you actually having boundaries on yourself to go, you know what, that's a boundary in my business, but does it need to be a boundary in myself as well? Like saying no to like personal, like friends, or even like relationships, or, clients as well, I suppose. But it's like, oh, I need to establish that in myself, within me first, before it can be a solid anywhere else in my life. Mm. Yeah,
Yes,
boundaries is my favorite B word, I think.
do it, do it, you won't look back, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's really hard. It's much more harder to establish when you're not in a team environment and it's just you at
Yes.
home. It's like, oh, but maybe I could get this booking over the line and then make my goal for the month. But yeah, I'll have to dedicate the time to get this done. And it's okay. I know them. They're a friend of a friend. I don't have to, charge a upfront fee or anything like that. They'll be right. They know me well enough. I can just do the work. And it's like, oh my God, they're the ones that are just like the absolute
The
nightmares, and
nightmares,
turn around
yeah.
and go, you know what? I've just sent your quote to another travel agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you can just like transfer that last cabin that you held on that cruise or that expedition ship, can you just like transfer it over to the new agent, please? Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, are
No.
you serious? That's when that node
Yeah.
word would have come really in handy.
If it's not making you money, don't do
Mm.
it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, mindset shift for sure.
I think everyone should write that on a whiteboard somewhere in their office and look at it every day. Is that making me money? No, I'm not doing it.
Yeah. And wrote Max says at the beginning.
Yes, yeah. And that we don't, as business owners, contractors, whatever we are, travel advisors, we rely on that income. So it's really important to make sure that we are doing the best by the income that we're getting in versus the output and the time that we're spending on it, for sure.
Mm. Yeah, excellent takeaway. Do you feel like people tend to go through seasons when it comes to that sort of thing? Like, oh, I'm in like survival mode. I need to like pick up every single sort of breadcrumb along the way, um, versus being able to have the courage and boundaries in place to say no, and know that when you're saying no to that one person, there's going to be two people coming your way that are like incredibly aligned and wouldn't even question an upfront fee.
Yeah. And that comes back down to backing yourself, right? From the very beginning, it's always been, well, what I can offer and what I can bring to the table in my experience and knowledge, you can go somewhere else and get that, but you will get it at a less quality versus what we will give you in terms of trust, reliability, consistency, IP, everything in that term is what you're getting from us. So I've never ever questioned my fees. I've never questioned, um, when we're doing negotiations or contracts or anything like that, because it's like, well, I know what I can fully back myself in knowing that what you're getting is amazing. So it's having that inner confidence to say, wait, I am worth this and I should be charging this and I should be talking about this.
Mm.
Definitely. Courageous conversations, love them.
Mm. And don't be hard to ever like tackle a hard topic with your clients too. Like if it means upping your prices or whatever,
Yeah.
like you've got to take the lead in your business. And I think when you break things down at the end of the day. Like if you're investing in platforms like eRoam, that's going to help you with your level of efficiency. You need to be offsetting that cost somehow,
Yeah.
because that is a service, an additional service that your clients are receiving, you being so damn efficient. It needs to be like, oh, well, my travel agent's really bloody quick.
Yeah. And, what I love about eRoam is that I've been able to control the whole messaging around it. And it's been really fun being able to help with the direction of that. I mean, let's be honest, tech is not sexy. It will never be sexy. But if we can make it fun along the way and make it, talk about it in a way that is going to get people to resonate with it and want to use the platform, then that's the path that we're going down, is that it's a fun platform. And once people get to see it and they can see just how easy it is to navigate, and the way we're talking about it is it's the price of a coffee per day per consultant. That is how cheap it is. So I mean, to be honest, it's even probably cheaper than coffee, seeing as that some coffee places are like $7.80 for a coffee. It's $5 a
Like
day,
Byron Bay prices.
right?
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if no one's had a look at the socials, jump on, because we have literally worked really hard to make it very fun for everyone to want to engage with eRoam.
That's kind of like online shopping, right? Like it's that dopamine hit.
Yeah.
Of just getting the job done and it being so quick. Yeah. We can't wait to talk more about it at our Travel Trend Summit. I'm so honored to have eRoam on board as a sponsor and looking forward to meeting yourself in the flesh as well as Paul. So how do you think things are looking like in the event space, and why do you think events like the Travel Trend Summit are so important?
Um, I think human connection matters. We are very digitally connected, more so than ever. There's so many different ways that we connect with people, but often that causes emotional disconnect. So I feel like this can be a really good space where people can come together, they can share, collaborate, meet other people. I feel like really big events can make people feel daunted and make them feel really scared to attend, particularly if they're a solo business owner and they're coming from interstate. They don't really know anyone because they're in a network of home-based people, or so having that smaller community, I feel, is a lot more powerful, that everyone's in the same boat and everyone can actually come together with the same purpose. And I use that word community because it's really important for me in the travel industry that we have a lot more community based around people that are aligned, like-minded. And there isn't 500 people sitting in a room at a money-making event, but we're there for a reason. And that's why I think the event's going to be really good, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you on the stage. I think with Travel Trend Summit, it's been designed around sharing the how, not telling you why. Showing the
Yeah,
how of what you need to do rather than just telling you why you need to do it. Because
love
there's
it.
so many other conferences out there. I'm not necessarily speaking about in the travel industry, like, because there's nothing like this in the travel industry. It just doesn't exist, right? But
Mm,
outside of the travel industry, it's like, oh, you've got an array of speakers, but nobody's telling you how to do the thing that you need. They're just telling you and driving the knife into as to why you need to do it. And I
mm.
think we need more strategy. We need more how. And if you're looking for that one day to get the how, this is the day. And it might be a little bit
Perfect.
controversial and informal compared to other corporate events that you're used to going to. But yeah, we're not selling to
But
you. We're just
no, that's what
showing you
makes
how.
it. Yeah, that's definitely, I think, what makes it. As I mentioned, the word community is it can be daunting for people turning up on their own. So something like this, I feel like is going to be perfect for small business owners, home based, whatever, solo traders. I think it's going to be great, and everyone's going to feel supported. So it'll be good fun.
Thanks, Max. If we want to learn more about eRoam, or if we want to connect with you or yourself or Paul, where
Yeah.
should we try and find you guys?
LinkedIn, we are all over that.
Mhm.
So for sure, just hit me up, Maxine Wiggs at LinkedIn. Um, and I can share my email and phone number and details with you guys as well. So if anyone wants to chat, very, very happy to have a conversation.
Cool. And
Can
we've
be
got
about anything.
eRoam website.
We do. It's very simple, eRoam.com. No
Nice and
brainer.
short.
We like to keep things simple.
Yeah. But that, even that just .com just suggests that it's a global platform, and just the level of technicality and innovation that's going into the actual platform itself. Love that.
Yeah, we are global. We've actually got presence in the Middle East, in the UK, and Australia. So, very much a global company. We're looking at taking this a lot broader. So it's exciting, very
Mm.
exciting.
Very exciting for like a little homegrown startup. Love that.
From Australia as well. Exactly. Yeah.
Yay, there's not
Yeah.
enough. There's not enough. So, yes, very, very happy to be a part of the journey as well. Thank you
Thanks for
so
your
much,
support,
Max.
Steph.
No, it's my pleasure. It just speaks to me on so many levels, just being quite grassroots as well. But yeah, it's definitely an exciting time to be in the travel industry, and also equally as exciting to be a part of this movement that we're all heading towards. So
Yeah.
it's time to step away from the desk and just enjoy sipping margaritas by the pool, if that's how you so wish to spend your time, your extra time.
Rosé by the pool.
Yeah, love that. Cool. Well, we're looking forward to welcoming you to the GC. Also, Paul as well. Really looking forward to the whole experience. And thank you so much for joining us on the live this evening. It's been fantastic to hear from you.
Great. Thanks, Steph. It's been great to have a chat with you. Next time, we should have really had a wine in our hands, but
I know,
we'll
right?
do that in the GC.
Yeah, totally. At the after party. Whoop, whoop. Thanks, Max. We'll see you soon.
Okay, see you. Bye.
Bye. Excellent.